What's up, beauties? Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been forever since I filmed a video, about a week now, but honestly I have been super busy. Like, my work has just been insane, but I know you guys really don't care about all of that, so I'm not gonna bore you too much with that. But I have really missed you guys, which is why I'm back with another video. Yo, there's like a storm going on outside right now. Today I'm going to talk about what it's like growing up in an African household. First of all, if you're an African child and you grew up in an African household, please go ahead and take a moment to give yourself a huge pat on the back, because that is an accomplishment. That is honestly an accomplishment. Growing up in an African household, surviving, and just like, oh my goodness, you should honestly be proud of yourself. And not only that, one thing I will say is that no matter how much African parents nag us and complain and like to use long ass proverbs that no one has ever heard of, they're honestly the most loving and caring type of people. Like, African parents are just the truth. Like, I love my parents, so, and I'm sure many of you guys do also. But let's go ahead and get started. First things first, African parents do not believe in dishwashers. Like, we have a dishwasher at home, but you would never hear an African mom say, oh, let's just load everything in the dishwasher and let it run. No way. Like, if you are from an African household, the kids are the walking, living, talking, breathing dishwashers. Like, you do the dishes at home. Like, you do not use the dishwasher. That's just what it is. And on top of that, the days that your mom decides to cook soup are the worst days, especially if it's like one draw type of soup like that, like okra soup or ogbono soup. Like, those are honestly like the worst days ever. And my mom likes to cook soup in like this big ass African pot. If you're African, you probably have it at home. Like, there are these huge pots, and on top of that, my mom does not believe in like soaking anything, because she feels like if you're soaking the pot overnight, you're just being lazy, blah 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 blah. So I literally have to sit there and like scrape everything to make sure it's clean and proper. So I'm standing for like an hour washing dishes, and there's always that one slow eater. Like, these people honestly get on my nerves, and for me, it's my sisters. I feel like I think my parents are here. I feel like they always do it to me on purpose. Like, every time I'm doing dishes, they always bring their dish last minute, and it's always like a stack of dishes that they just finished eating, and it's like, really, why do you have to eat so slow? Like, I just finished washing dishes and now you want to bring your stuff? That drives me nuts. The slow eaters drive me nuts, especially if it's my turn to do dishes. Second thing, African parents do not believe in sleepovers. Honestly, I don't think I've been to a sleepover. Actually, no, I have been to one sleepover, and it was a fellow African family. Like, that's the only way my parents would allow sleepovers, if it's another African family inviting us. But if it's like people from school, especially growing up in junior high, like, I would get invited to sleepovers and stuff, but I was not allowed to go. Like, these people could honestly live in the most secure neighborhood ever, but African parents are like, no, like, no sleepovers. My mom would always say, don't you have a house? Why can't they come to your own house? What's wrong with your own house? Invite them here. Come and do your own sleepover. What's wrong with the bed in your room? Are you tired of sleeping in the bed in your room that you also can't sleep in someone else's bed? What's wrong with you? Like, honestly, they come up with all kinds of excuses as to why you should not go to a sleepover. And on top of that, it's like, don't you watch the news? Haven't you been seeing all this kidnapping in the news? Eh? Do you want them to go and steal you? You want to go and sleep in another person's house? I don't know their family, yo. I don't know those people like that. It's like, oh my goodness. Okay, mommy, I was just asking if I could go to sleepover. I won't ask anymore. Forget it. Like, I don't know how many times I've heard those excuses as to why I couldn't go to sleepover, but that's what happens when you grow up in an African home. Third thing, honestly, African parents believe the whole saying, it takes a village to raise a child. African parents honestly live by that. No, just know that if you do something wrong at home, the whole world is gonna know about it. Your family's gonna know about it, your aunts are gonna know about it, your uncles, your cousins. people that aren't really your family, but you call them aunts and uncle for respect, they're gonna know about it. To the point that, let's say you guys go to like a family function, like a birthday or a wedding or whatever, you have complete strangers coming up to you and say, hey, blessing, I expected much more from you now. So you have a boyfriend, do you want to get pregnant? So you were rolling your eyes at your mom, you think you're one of these Oyibo children out there. You better compose yourself, or you're an African child. Just know, if you do anything, your mom will let me know. Like, it's honestly like, oh my goodness, like something that just happened at home and I thought it would end there. No, best believe the whole world is gonna know about it. And now it's not just your mom yelling at you, it's not just your dad, it's not your uncle, it's not the neighbors, it's not the pastor. Like, everybody knows about your business. Fourth thing, African parents are very creative when it comes to punishments. Yo, like, these people, I honestly don't know where they come up with their punishments from. I don't know how I just don't know how they come up with it. What I mean by that is, like, if you're an African child, I'm sure you've been punished at least once, you know what I mean? And I've told you guys before in the past that I was a very mischievous child growing up. Like, I was a badass kid growing up, and like, it got to the point where the belt was not working for me, the wooden spoon was not working for me, my mom's slippers was not working for me. You know when you when you do something wrong and your mom just like her quick reaction is to just pull off her slippers and hit you on top of your head. Yeah, that just wasn't working for me anymore. So one day, I cannot remember what I did, but I obviously pissed her off really bad, that she decided to make me pick pin. Oh my goodness. If you guys don't know what pick pin is, let me explain. I'm sure if you're African, you know what pick pin is. At least if you're Nigerian, you know what pick pin is. But if for all my non-Africans, if you don't know what pick pin is, it's a form of punishment in which consists of you taking your index finger to the floor. So you basically put your index finger to the floor, and you have one leg up in the air. So basically you're balancing your body on your index finger. It is the worst punishment, and I remember having to do it until she was tired of hearing me cry and complain and all that stuff. Like, oh my goodness, it is the worst punishment ever. I'm pretty sure that was like the first and the very last time I ever did that. Like, I definitely learned my lesson after that. So that is like the most creative form of punishment. Like, I just don't know how they come up with this stuff. And honestly, I feel like if African parents would just be a little bit more lenient towards us, just a little bit. And like, I understand, you know, they've been through certain things, so they don't want us repeating the same mistakes, especially for their children. But honestly, I feel like because we grew up in such a tight community and just under tight circumstances, like when the kids end up going out to university, all of a sudden you want to go wild and you want to rebel because you have a little bit of freedom. So if our parents could just give us a little bit of freedom while at home and just let us make mistakes and learn from them, by the time you get to university, you won't feel like such a wild child. Like, you have to go to every single party, every single rave, you know, be at every single social function. Like, you know, it won't be like a child that has never left the house before, because that's honestly how I felt when I went to university my freshman year. It was like freedom, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, turn up, and I was going crazy to the point where it was overwhelming and my studies were lacking my freshman year. I've told you guys this before, so I just wish our parents would give us a little bit. Now I can go on and on and on and on listing so many things that African parents do, like calling you to come and grab a remote that's literally 2 inches away from them. Like, I honestly don't know, but at the end of the day, to all our parents, we love you guys, we appreciate you guys. We know you guys suffered in the village, that's why you want us to suffer as well, but try to go easy on us a little bit. So if you're an African teenager, or if you're an African child and you're at home and you're like, man, why are my parents always bugging me? Every 2 seconds is this, every 2 minutes is that. Believe me, you're not the only one who's gone through it. We've all gone through it. I'm sure we can all share our stories. One day you're gonna grow up and you're gonna look back at it and you're going to laugh, and who knows, you might even act the same way towards your kids one day. So I love you guys so much for watching. To all my new subscribers, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my next video. God bless.